Today we're looking at the Valkyries, based on the 1976 Minnesota Vikings. They feature a pro-style offense and a strong 4-3 defense. Their main strengths are their strong pass defense and their strong run offense deck. They also have a very high chance to block kicks. They've got multiple special rules that we're going to go over in detail today. Block that kick, which gives them a higher chance to block kick. They've got purple Meeple Eaters. They've got Fran Tarkenton running around to do cool stuff, so let's dig in. The Valkyries have three formations on offense. Far Twins is their run heavy, Pro Set is their balanced formation, and Slot Form is their pass heavy. The Valkyries only have two formations on defense. 4-3 is their run heavy, and Nickel is their balanced formation. They do not have a pass heavy defense formation. The Valkyries have a number of special rules. Let's begin with the most important one, which is the purple Meeple Eaters that trigger abilities by creating defensive breakaways and negative plays. Purple Meeple Eaters is a fun play on words. Obviously this team was the Purple People Eaters, and that represents their exceptional defensive line with multiple Hall of Famers. And so the Purple Meeple Eaters actually gain one purple meeple anytime they force a negative play result, which was not forced by penalty, anytime they earn a defensive breakaway, or anytime they prevent an opponent from scoring on a drive. And what you'll see is that at the beginning of the game you start with one, so we're just going to move this over here, and so they have one meeple that they're ready to go with. They start every game with one meeple. These meeples actually allow you to do two separate things. One is meet at the quarterback, which basically means that each one of these meeples adds one to their pass defense value before they draw a game day card, or tip drill, where they can spend all three of them to try to generate an interception. Let's see how these work in action. Let's pick up the action in the first quarter. We have 2nd and 2 for the Fire at their own 40. And they've come out with an I form versus 4-3. They're coming out with a wide receiver reverse, which is a special run, versus man-to-man. That is going to be a defensive breakaway. So we'll pull the game day card, see what it gives us, and that is a -1. Sideline is our friend. So this is actually going to be a gain of nothing. Right now, 4 on 3 would be a gain of 1. -1 in the middle is nothing. It's the same as the actual upper left corner of nothing. The trick here, though, is that we have triggered a defensive breakaway. So this stays right here. However, we will earn another purple meeple, so they now have 2 active. 3rd down and 2 now for the Fire at their own 40, and they're coming out in I form again versus 4-3. This time they're going to go play action pass, but they're going to come up against a 2-man under. No breakaway here, but it's 3 on 3, which will be a gain of 0. What the Valkyries can do now is actually choose the Purple Meeple Eaters if they want to meet at the quarterback. They can do this after the plays are revealed, but before the game day card is pulled. They can actually spend a meeple or multiple meeples to boost the pass value on this play. Interestingly enough, if we've got a 3 on 3 and there's no breakaway here, they may actually want to spend one meeple to turn that 3 into a 4. Now they can have the possibility of a sack. So that's what they're going to do. It's now a 3 against 4 because they got extra pressure from their Purple Meeple Eaters. This is an offense run card that has no impact on the pass. So it is a 3 on 4, which is a loss of 1 and a 4th down. Now, the loss of 1 means that we've got a negative play result, which means they're going to earn one of their meeples. Also notice that because it's 4th down, they have prevented their opponent from scoring on this drive. As soon as they punt, they will earn another meeple. So they've actually filled out their meeples here after completing one play where they satisfied 2 different conditions, forcing a negative play result and preventing their opponent from scoring. Well, fast forward now to the second quarter. We see that the Valkyries are winning 3-0, and the Fire have the ball at their own 25, 1st down and 5. They've come out in a shotgun versus nickel, and their play call is a medium pass of 6 versus a press of 5. Right now, this is going to be a gain of 1, no breakaway, and so we're going to pull the game day card. But let's take a look at what the Valkyries could do. They can add 3 meeples worth of pass defense to make this meet at the quarterback and actually turn this into a sack. They've got 1, 2, 3 right now, so they could literally turn this 5 into an 8 and make it 6 on 8, which would be a -2. But what they're going to do instead is they're going to hang on to that and perhaps spend tip drill. Tip drill happens only on an incomplete pass, and they would spend all 3 of their meeples to tip the ball into the air and have a chance at an interception. So when we pull the game day card, we see that this is a bang-bang collision, play equals 0. So they actually have the opportunity here, if they want, to go ahead and do this. So they're going to do it. They're going to take all 3 meeples and spend them all at the same time for the opportunity to get an interception. So what has happened here is the ball has been thrown and it is tipped into the air. We now need to pull a second game day card to see only the text color. We're looking for green or red. Green means it's incomplete, red means it's intercepted, and that is a red text card. That means it's intercepted. So we're going to process this just like an interception. 6 on 5 is a gain of 1. The ball was tipped into the air, picked off right here, and we've got a turnover right here. 1st and 2 now for the Valkyries, going the other way. One thing to notice is that because the Valkyries prevented their opponent from scoring on that drive, they will earn 1 meeple back. Let's now look at the scramble to buy time mechanism. This is a Valkyries pass offense only, and before resolving the play, they can spend meeples to draw game day cards to reduce the defensive play value. Looking at how this works in action, we've got second quarter. We just got that tipped ball interception at the 30. The Valkyries are now looking to punch this in for a score. They've come out in slot form versus dime. Slot form is a medium pass of 6, and the dime coverage is a zone of 5. Right now, this would be a gain of 1. Gain of 1 isn't going to get them the first down, and maybe that's okay, but we're going to take a look at using Scramble to buy time. We have 1 meeple that we're thinking about using, so we're going to go ahead and spend it. This meeple allows us now, because this isn't a breakaway and we're passing, we're going to pull 1 game day card, and we're going to check the upper left corner, which is a -2. This is Fran Tarkenton running around, trying to make defenders miss, allowing room for the receiver down the field to try to get open, to catch the pass, just reducing the overall defensive pass value. So the way this works is this -2 takes this 5 zone and turns it into a 5 -2 of 3. It is now 6 on 3. Now we will flip the game day card and resolve the play. This is an offense run. It has no impact, so this is going to be a gain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and a first down. And that's the impact that Fran Tarkenton can have on the opposing defense. Notice that multiple meeples can be spent on any given down. If you've got 3 in the bank and you want to spend all 3, having Fran Tarkenton run around, you can do that. You can spend as many as you have on a given down. If you pull a 0, nothing happens, but if you pull a -1, that would shave 1 off of the defense pass value. -2, of course, shaves 2 off the defense pass value. And if you happen to pull the interception or fumble card in the upper left, the football icon, that reduces the defensive pass value to 0. We'll pick up the action now in the third quarter. The score is 10-9. The Valkyries are winning, but the Fire have just scored a touchdown and they're about to kick their extra point to tie the game. The Valkyries are now going to take that block that kick action where they can spend a challenge flag to try to block a kick. This is any kick that can potentially be blocked, which includes field goals, extra points, and punts. In this particular instance, the game day card would be pulled, and just like normal, it's going to be a regular kick. However, we're going to spend this challenge flag so that on any red text card, it is blocked with a breakaway return. So we flip the game day card and see it is red text. Even though the 9 in the bottom right corner would have been perfectly good extra point for any other team, the Valkyries have blocked that kick because they pulled red text, and now they get a breakaway return. And so the breakaway is on. And that is a -1, so they've actually picked the ball up at the 5 and run it back to the 10 because they have a 1 there. And let's see, they've got 2 more. If they can actually return this all the way, they'll get 2 points. Nope, but that is a 0. So nothing comes of that extra point. The block is successful, so it remains 10-9. The Valkyries still hold the lead here in the third quarter. Once that block, that kick has been executed successfully, it is inactive for the rest of the game, so the Valkyries can only block 1 kick per game in this manner. Remember, this mechanism ends as soon as the Valkyries block any kick, even if that includes blocking a kick through normal means. If they block a punt, say for example on this card, where they pull a card and block the punt of their opponent, they wouldn't then be able to also turn around and use the block that kick mechanism to try to block another one. As soon as the Valkyries block any kick, this block that kick mechanism is inactive. So in the event that you are using the Snow Day deck to play in winter weather, there's actually a special advantage for the Valkyries. They have Winter Warriors, which means when you're using the Snow Day deck, at the start of every Valkyries defense drive, they activate all of their purple meeples. So let's take a look at how this works. The Fire are going to play in the snow. So the kickoff of 1 for the Fire will bring it out to the 25 because of their special rule. And it's now 1st and 5. The Valkyries, of course, start the game with 1. So they've started the game with 1, but because of Winter Warriors, they actually begin their defensive drive with all 3. And this is going to happen for the remainder of the game. Anytime they join defense, they are going to grab 3 of their meeples. So they have access to all of their meeples all of the time at the beginning of their drives. And of course, they can continue to spend and re-earn those meeples when they trigger negative play results, when they earn defensive breakaways, and when they stop their opponents from scoring. Now, when it's a championship game, they actually receive a negative. In any championship game before the kickoff, you would remove 1 Valkyries challenge flag and 2 purple meeples from the game. So this would pull these 2 out and would flip this permanently, and you would simply not have access to those. So for the entire game, the Valkyries would have 1 meeple and 1 challenge flag. This is to reflect the challenges that the Vikings had winning Super Bowls or even being competitive in the Super Bowls they were able to make. Now, one fun fact about the Snow Day deck, because the Winter Warriors compels you to activate all purple meeples, if the championship game is in the snow, you actually will reclaim these meeples. So essentially, in winter, when they're playing a championship game, the only effect is to lose a challenge flag. The Valkyries' run defense is pretty weak, and their pass offense has some inconsistency to it. But because of the ability to scramble to buy time, you can normally overcome that. Leaning into the run defense can be a good strategy with the Valkyries, especially since you can use your purple Meeple Eaters to augment your pass values. So very often the Valkyries will live in sort of run-heavy defenses and just throw the purple meeples at their pass defense to have a nice balanced approach. And this is usually enough to keep any offense in check.